Hi guys, I'm excited to share with you this update, this really detailed update of your revised plan set that I think is ready to share with the consultant engineers so they can get started with the structural and the electrical. So what we're seeing here on this plan is the overall site plan on the left side, the demolition plan showing all the walls to be removed as well as some new notes added. There's a lot more notes to come, mind you, during the construction documents phase, but a lot of notes added about existing roof areas to remain. And yes, dear planning department, we are allowed to build into the rear setback ever so slightly and the side setback. So I've added a lot of notes here, but again, more to come. But let's go ahead and just to comment, I have shown the new pergola and the hardscape for it attached to the home or right next to the home. I mean, it is structurally detached. But I've shown the pergola on the plans, and we'll see that in 3D at the end of the video. Zooming in here onto the next sheet, we zoom in on the plan itself. Again, information on the demo plan should look pretty similar to what we've seen before, but the floor plan has now been updated with all the changes that we made during the interior 3D modeling, like the length of the wall here and the size of the flared skylight here, but no skylight here in the family room, keeping the skylight in the foyer. Um, I think everything that we've talked about is reflected here. And if we zoom in, we can also start to see the window locations have been added in, which I think you'll appreciate. So high windows here, like above your bed, and the walk-in closet are shown in a dashed line type, like so. And and there's some dimensions shown now. That was more just to make sure I had room on the page. There's going to be a lot more dimensions added, but the engineers don't need these dimensions on the plan yet. They just need these lines, all the CAD files. So my main focus was to update the line work here. All of these other dimensions and a lot more annotation are going to be added during the construction documents phase for me. But what we see here is a new sheet, a new view for you. Now that we've settled on the exterior design and the interior walls, I've gone ahead and put together the roof plan, the new roof plan, and coordinated the lighting layout plan that I'd like to see. So I'm going to zoom in on this lighting plan because this isn't entirely new. I think we've talked about some of this already, like three grouped pendants above the dining table, five or so mini pendants here spanning on a bar suspended in the flared skylight shaft LED uplighting. But hopefully all of this makes sense to you. But these orange symbols here are can lights in the flat ceiling areas. Every room is lit by at least two fixtures. Some spaces certainly have more, depending, but I don't like just having one source of light in a room. I like having at least two. So even, for example, at the bay window, I'm showing two can lights up in the ceiling of the bay window. And overall, I'm really happy with the lighting layout. Every bedroom has four can lights and a ceiling fan arrayed in a grid-like fashion. Every bedroom also has to have a smoke alarm, so that's what that little A symbol here and here in the hallway means. Some rooms, like any room that might create steam, so certainly any room with a shower in it, but also any room that we might want to mask some noise and ventilate some smell, and any room with a washer in it. So the walk-in closet, the laundry, every bathroom is going to have an exhaust fan as well. Now this exhaust fan can have a light source alongside it. That's fine. Although I'm a big fan of just picking a exhaust fan that functions just for exhaust and not worry about whatever color light happens to come with the light or with the exhaust fan. Oftentimes these utility um, appliances tend to have what I think is too white of a light. It feels too like a utility closet, whereas I'd like to have a nice warm yellowish color to the light, and it's hard to find. It's harder to find, though. Certainly they're available. But anyways, even here in the powder room, if this was not a light source above the toilet, we have a can light here and a bit of LED lighting behind the mirror, or integrated into the mirror perhaps at the vanity. So two sources of light for this relatively small room is just fine, especially since there's going to be glass on this door and there will be access to the light coming in from the skylight here. Let's see, anything else stand out? So these symbols here are wall sconces that go on the wall. So I've got two of these flanking the pergola and two of these flanking your doors and windows here at the master suite. And then the pergola, I'm showing a little zigzag of string lights. I think that's really cute. And then two pendant lights hanging over the dining area and hanging over the outdoor seating area. If we look at the family room, I've gone ahead and shown a spot that I think makes sense for speakers. If we have this nice simple grid in the family room of can lights, I think this is good for ambient lighting or not ambient lighting, but general lighting to generally light up the room. But I would want to see some ambient lighting in terms of perhaps floor lamps or table lamps on some of your end tables here to have a bit more moody lighting during movie times, perhaps, and just rely on these overhead can lights for general illumination during a large party, perhaps, or for cleaning up at nighttime or something like that. But then I've got the four speakers set here. I am showing a couple of wall sconces flanking the sink at the window. I think that'd be kind of nice. We're kind of tight for ceiling space with the flared skylight being so wide as the upper cabinets are almost, except for an offset along these edges here. It feels a little tight to try to cram in walls or ceiling lights, cam lights, like I have here and here at the range and at the tall elements, oven, fridge, and coffee bar area. I don't want to see two can lights here. I start to not really like how they relate to the sink and windows as well as the opening. So I say, let's just not put anything else at the ceiling here other than the skylight, and we'll put two wall sconces just on either side of these windows. I think that'd be really nice. I think that kind of covers it. So I'd like to have you guys review the lighting layout that I'm proposing here and let me know if anything sticks out to you as being significantly off the mark. Otherwise, I'd like to share this with the electrical engineer and they will start to lay out all the different lighting controls necessary for these lights. There's a lot of code requirements that go into lighting controls for a bathroom versus a bedroom versus a general space like this. But they're also going to show all the electrical outlets that are required by code, as well as sort of my typical suggestions, which in addition to code requirements would have things like, let's say, installing outlets adjacent to the toilets for easy bidet installation, as well as having outlets at the floor of seating areas where end tables might go. So you don't have to drape electrical cords across the floor. You can just have an outlet here adjacent to seating areas. I sometimes put an outlet underneath the dining table, but you're so close to the wall here. I think that's unnecessary. Um, but you could have an outlet in the floor of the dining room. Let me know what you think there. And of course, there'll be outlets at the exterior, near all the exterior doors, as well as I think an outlet in the ceiling or high up on the wall here underneath this porch to illuminate Christmas lights or some sort of other decorative lighting that you might want throughout the year. Okay, guys. Well, I look forward. Oh, actually, and before we close this video, let's take a look at what that covered porch is looking like now that I've added it back in. So from the dining room and from the kitchen area, I've designed something that's really open, that's really tall, so you don't really start to see the ceiling of the pergola until you're in the family room. But even then, you're seeing a lot of the greenery of the trees back there by having this raised up so much. And I think it's really handsome. It looks like there's perhaps a little bit of a mismatch here. These are supposed to be at the same elevation, these brackets. That could be fixed up a bit later. But I am showing the two hanging or swinging chairs that I think could work really nicely right here, hanging from that beam. So hopefully this looks good to you as well, and I can get the structural engineer started not only on the house engineering, but also on the engineering for this pergola. Okay, guys, thank you so much.